I might have to do this in several takes. And no, I'm not going to be explaining my poorly drawn picture in the video. I mean, those that get it. Those that don't probably never will. But what I will be doing is I will be establishing the tier charts for the levels of understanding, levels of comprehension, and levels of intellect. I did a similar tier chart for Pirate 101, and my fans that pretend like they hate me from that game, they still continue to use my tier chart still to this day, although they butcher it and everybody's S tier because nobody wants to hold people accountable for playing bad, and everybody wants to hug and kiss and kumbaya and all that bullshit, right? But no, man. S tier is supposed to be where the masters lie, and that's a level to which almost nobody has, even in video games, right? So, to keep it simple, okay, we're going to start where the baseline is, right? B tier is where human beings are born at, because again, you're already born knowing the truth, and then society and everything around you corrodes your natural knowledge and tries to make you forget what you naturally know, or tries to make you think that natural knowledge is the enemy and that natural knowledge is, something that you need to stay away from. So the B tier is where you're born at, okay? From there, the first level of regression is C tier, okay? C tier is where most of humanity lies. C tier is like the average human being. C tier is usually the first step to regression from when you're born to get into this level is usually when you're taught religion. Okay, religion is the first step of regression, and if it's not an organized religion, it's morals and dogma. Okay, so a naturally born human being, from the time they're a baby, they'll be taught morality, they'll be taught opinions, they'll be taught religion, they'll be taught dogma, they'll be taught ideologies, they'll be taught philosophies, etc., etc., etc. They'll be taught all this garbage that serves no other purpose other than to corrode your brain, confuse you, and make you think that the truth is complicated, when in reality the truth is simple. So a human child that is taught these things will immediately go from B tier to C tier unless they were born genetically with an already brilliant mind to where they already know this is all bullshit from a young age. Children like that are extremely rare, and they're anomalies and exceptions to the rule, not so much the norm. Most regular people, they'll go from B tier, which is where they're naturally born, they'll regress to C tier. That's the first level of regression. Now, the most intelligent human beings will usually grow older and they'll age, and as they get more life experience, they will begin to realize that all this shit they were taught from birth is bullshit, and the most intelligent humans will eliminate religion from their lives and will eliminate most ideologies and philosophies, and they will climb back up to the lower B tiers. So not where they were born at, but below where they were born at. So they'll be more intelligent than regular humans, but they'll still be below the natural knowledge that they had from when they were born. Now, B tier is where the most intelligent human beings that understand some things but don't get it fully, they fall into the B tier. So these would be people like Einstein, people that have IQs of 160, 170. They'll be geniuses compared to regular people, but either because they stubbornly don't want to abandon all the lies they were taught since birth, or they really believe the lies they were taught since birth. All it takes is a few lies to block you from truly getting it. So people that you guys would consider geniuses, I call these guys the most visible higher intellectuals. These guys will fall into the B tier, and gifted children that never forgot what they naturally know, they would also fall into the B tier category. Now, people that have mental impairments, mental illnesses, or people that don't have any of that, that are just slow, that are somehow below the average cattle, they go into the second level of regression, which I would call D tier. So the people that are below average intelligence, they would be at D tier. People that are below, so a C tier is where the average human being is. That's the first level of regression. This is where most of humanity is. People that are less intelligent than average, such as people that are slow, somehow slower than the regular cattle orcs, right? If you're somehow slower than the average person, you're at D tier. If you're above the average person to the point where regular people would consider you a genius, but you still don't get it, you'll be at the B tier level. Now, the first tier of progression is what I would call the A tier. This is where the people are at that get it, but are still below the game masters are. So if I were to make a rough estimate, this number is going to sound ridiculous, but I estimate that out of all human beings, there is less than 0.001% of human beings that get it, and that's a generous number, to be honest with you. I think it's even lower than that, because people that get it are so fucking rare that you have entire conspiracy groups dedicating to debating on if there even is human beings on this planet that get it, right? I mean, you got people that think you gotta die to get it, right? Those guys are just fucking wrong, man. Now, something that I will say is that because I suck at drawing, I didn't exactly draw what I drew to scale, but the difference between S tier and A tier is greater than the difference between A tier and D tier. I know that sounds ridiculous, but the difference of understanding and the difference of comprehension of the game between the people that get it and the actual game masters, that gap is wider than the gap between the people that get it and the people that are fucking mentally retarded. So the gap between A and D is smaller than the gap between A and S. Now, again, that sounds ridiculous, but something that you guys have got to understand is that your mind can't possibly comprehend the difference until you're at a level to where you can get it. Now, some people got angry at me at my last video because the dude I was he started talking philosophy and metaphors and shit, and I just stopped reading what he was saying. One guy blocked me on Discord because I stopped reading what he was saying. And the thing is, man, when you're at the level to where you get it, there's just certain ways somebody talks that immediately tells you that they don't get it and they never will. Don't waste your time, right? If somebody starts talking about metaphors, philosophies, ideologies, religions, dogma, if somebody tries to fucking bring it into an opinionated, my truth, my belief zone, they don't get it. They may be B tier, right? They may know a bunch of fancy words. They may know a bunch of fucking, they may name drop, right? They may be more intelligent than the regular orc cattles, right? They may have abandoned religion, but they may have joined, you know, a different type of religion, right? A different type of order, a different type of organization. So they'll be above the cattle orcs, and they will appear bright until you hear them speak in front of somebody that gets it, right? So I have certain trigger words that I hear that immediately tells me that somebody can't get it, right? Now, people that do get it, that only focus on what is true, who have gone to the source and live life in harmony with what is true and reap the full benefits of the universe and nature, these guys would be at the A tier, but they would still be lots and lots of levels below those that have truly mastered the game, those that have created a lot of the modern games that, you know, we in society live in. So, and again, that sounds ridiculous, but until you get to a certain level, you don't understand the gap between A and S. You don't understand the gap between the people that get it and the actual masters of the game. It's enormous, right? People at the B level and below, they don't think there's a master of the games, because they've been trained to think that only gods have a certain level of understanding and comprehension, that only deities have a certain level of understanding and comprehension. These people have been tricked into thinking that the human mind is limited, that that we're limited in how much we can learn and how much we can know. They've been tricked into thinking that some answers are impossible to answer, and that there's no way of knowing certain things in life. Some people even go a step further and think you have to die in order to truly see it all. And again, these people are capped at the B level. Those that get it, they understand that's all malarkey, and they proceed to try to find and learn the things that the cattle believe that you can't find and learn. And those that are at the S tier, man, they've known this shit for a very long time, longer than people can possibly comprehend. Now, with that being said, funny enough, I managed to do that in one take before my drinks before work got here. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. And in future videos where I reference the intellectual tiers, S, A, B, C, and D, you know, you guys will know what I'm talking about just based off of this video. This will save me the trouble of having to repeat myself in the future. So people that are still stuck on the fucking religion, philosophy, opinions, political party, beliefs, all that shit that doesn't matter, the highest level they could possibly be is B tier. So slightly below what they were born as, but above regular people that just don't even think about the truth at all. And in regular people, they make up the C tier, and then people that are somehow less intelligent than the average orc, they're at the D tier. The game masters are up here, S tier. People that get it are at the A tier. And the gap between A and S is bigger than the gap between A and D. So with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Any disagreements, feel free to type it. And yeah, if the guy doesn't show up to the debate tomorrow, I already got other things planned to talk about. Peace.